The neon sign of the Rusty Spur Saloon flickered over the cracked parking lot in Cheyenne, Wyoming, spitting red light across the dust on her boots. Ellie Mae Harper had driven 3 days straight from Nashville with nothing but a beat-up guitar, $42, and a voice that could make a grown man cry. The ad in the paper was simple. Singer wanted. Cash paid nightly, no questions asked. She was 26, broke, and desperate enough to ignore the rumors about the man who owned the place. Inside, the air smelled of whiskey, leather, and old regrets. A dozen cowboys leaned over their beers, hats low, eyes sharp. At the bar stood Jake Callahan, tall, sun-baked, 34 going on 40, with a scar that ran from his left ear to the corner of his mouth, like someone had tried to erase his smile and failed. He wore a black resistol and a look that said he'd already seen everything twice. Ellie walked straight up to him, boots clicking on the warped wood floor. "You the one hiring singers?" Jake didn't answer right away. He let his gaze travel from her scuffed boots to the frayed hem of her denim skirt, then up to the fire in her green eyes. Finally, he tipped his chin toward the little stage in the corner. "Sing something." One verse. "If the boys throw money instead of bottles, you're hired." She didn't wait for a band. She climbed the 2 steps, grabbed the house guitar, and started in on an old Patsy Cline tune, slow and aching. Her voice filled the room like warm honey poured over broken glass. By the time she hit the last note, the saloon was silent, except for the clink of coins and bills hitting the stage. Jake leaned back against the bar, arms folded. "You got the job." Ellie stepped down, brushing sawdust off her palms. "How much a night?" "50 cash, plus tips. You sleep in the back room if you want. Saves rent." She studied him. "That all?" He gave a half-smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "That's all, unless you're looking for trouble." 2 weeks slid by. Ellie sang 6 nights a week, her voice getting stronger, the tips getting thicker. She learned the regulars' names, learned which ones tipped better when she smiled, which ones tipped better when she didn't, and every night, Jake watched from the same spot, like a man guarding something he wasn't sure he owned. One Thursday, the crowd was thin and mean. A drunk ranch hand in a dirty Stetson kept yelling for something with balls. Ellie ignored him, until he threw a bottle that shattered against the wall behind her. Before she could blink, Jake was across the room, fist cocked. She jumped off the stage and caught his arm. "Not worth it," she said quietly. Jake's knuckles were white. "He don't get to treat you like that." "Maybe not, but I can handle myself." He looked down at her hand on his arm, then into her eyes, and something shifted. The anger drained out of him slow, like blood from a cut that finally decides to clot. Later, after closing, the saloon was empty except for the hum of the beer coolers. Ellie counted her tips at the bar. Jake poured 2 shots of Herradura and slid one toward her. "To not killing assholes," he said. She clinked her glass against his. "To not needing to." They drank. The tequila burned sweet. He spoke first. "You ain't from here." "Neither are you," she said. "That scar's not Wyoming work." He touched it without thinking. "Afghanistan. Second tour." Ellie nodded like that explained everything it needed to. Silence settled comfortable between them. Finally she said, "I came looking for a job. Didn't expect to find whatever this is." Jake looked at her for a long moment. "Me neither." Outside, the Wyoming wind rattled the shutters. Inside, the jukebox clicked on by itself, some old George Strait song about fools falling in love. Neither of them moved to turn it off. Ellie set her empty glass down. "So what happens now, cowboy?" Jake came around the bar, slow, giving her every chance to step back. She didn't. When he was close enough to smell the tequila on her breath, he said, "Whatever you're willing to stand by." She smiled, small and real. "Then I reckon I'm willin'." He kissed her like a man who'd waited his whole life to be sure. She kissed him back like a woman who'd finally found a song worth singing twice. The neon sign kept flickering over an empty parking lot, but inside the Rusty Spur, 2 broken people decided maybe some things were worth fixing after all.